Basically, if you're incarcerated, you're subject to being a slave. You try to forget about the real world. You're living in a different planet in there. There's just a different set of rules. You have there's a lot of racism going on in the States, and so there's black gangs. There's Bloods, there's Crips, there's Latin Kings, there's there's just all types of gangs running stuff, and sometimes you end up in a housing unit that's full of mostly Bloods, and then sometimes you're in a Crip house, sometimes you're in a more Latin King house. So you just got to be ready to adapt. And I knew how to adapt, because I was a kid when I went in, and I remember when I was a kid, I had to fight every single day because I was not part of a gang. And the adult side of things were a little bit more lenient in terms of you not being in a gang, but that meant you couldn't use the certain phones. So you have 3 pay phones. You only could, there's a neutral phone, there's a Spanish phone, and then there's a black gang phone. And I was part of the Spanish. I was not in a gang, but I was always hanging out with the Spanish gangs, and I was okay to use the Spanish phones. And sometimes the gang members would take away that neutral phone. If you were not part of the unit, you couldn't make a phone call. I think people get extorted for food. It's just crazy fights over TV, like a lot of fights over the TV. Whether somebody's watching the Spanish channel and somebody wants to watch regular news, and somebody will just go up to the TV and change it. You have to just be ready to fight. They say pull out your gun, which you don't have a gun, but they call the knives, your knife is your gun, and that's what you say.
Wow, that's crazy. Was it more violent inside, or was it more violent on the streets?
Definitely inside. Definitely more violent inside. In the streets, you could be incognito, especially after things change with cell phones and delivery services. It was not that corner to corner type of issue from back in the day. Inside was just a bit more crazy.
And what about working? Were you able to earn any money while you were on the inside with any? Because there's a lot of corporations that actually have almost slave labor wages, don't they, with some incarcerated people in the US?
Yeah, so I was working as a customer service agent for the Department of Motor Vehicles, earning 7 cents an hour.
7 cents an hour?
That's an hour. So I was my monthly wage was about $40.
Wow, that's crazy. How do they justify 7 cents an hour?
I have no idea. It's all robbery. It's all it's a money-making business. You have the department pay the prison a certain amount. That department, it pays the inmates, and they take a cut. So they could say like, hey, we'll deliver all the customer agents for you, for $10 an hour rather than $20 an hour, and then you get paid whatever they tell you you're gonna get paid. And you want to do something while you're inside. You have to do something just to keep occupied, and if you don't work, you get in trouble too.
There's so many ways you sort of cease being human, don't you, when you enter the prison system? Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's part of the law. If you're incarcerated, you're subject to being a slave.